Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and you probably already saw that the OnePlus 7T was officially announced this morning, and today I'm going to share with you guys an unboxing and initial impressions of the brand new OnePlus 7T, specifically the reviewers package, as we usually get a few extra goodies in there that your normal box or your normal package includes if you decide to pick up the device. This is TK and this is XDA TV. Let's check it out. And here we have it. So here we have the box, never settle. And of course, within, OnePlus nature, the box is of course unique as it is, and it opens up actually very nicely this way. We have a nice little ribbon here to pull out the booklet here with all the features about the OnePlus 7T. This is the OnePlus 7T, not the Pro for the US market. And of course, we have a nice little message here. This is the OnePlus 7T. It's the combination of all of our design and engineering efforts and crafted for those who, like us, always strive for the very best. And of course, we have this nice little booklet here that will basically highlight all of the special features of the brand new OnePlus 7T, as well as a couple of chamois to make sure we keep our device clean. So as far as the stuff that we have in the box, as I showed you guys, we have definitely the phone here. The box is definitely new. As you notice, it's actually a little bit longer, and of course, this is for the 7T, not the 7T Pro. And then right underneath that, we have yeah, that's what it looks like. This is the wireless Bullets version 2 that was originally announced earlier this year. Some of the best wireless buds that you can use have a really long battery life as well as really quick charging. And of course, it supports aptX HD. And of course, just definitely one of the best pairs of headphones. And of course, when you use it with a OnePlus 7 or a OnePlus device, you have the ability of pausing and resuming music straight by just basically using the magnetic clamps on the back of this. We'll get a chance to check it out in a second. Now, on the right side, they include a nice little leather-bound, basically kind of a notebook. And you just have basically some blank pages you could use. It's definitely very nice touch. I always love these little nice additions. And then last but not least, right under that, we have a few cases that are made specifically for the OnePlus 7T. We have obviously the red one, the iconic color, the carbon fiber, and of course the sandstone, all included, and we'll definitely get a chance to check them out. So here we have it in front of us. We have the OnePlus 7T. We'll open it up, as well as the Bullets Wireless 2 and the 3 cases. Let's go ahead and start off with the Bullets Wireless 2, since we've already done a review of these, and I'll show you guys real quick what they look like, and then we can move on to the phone. So here we have the actual case. We just have some instructional information here, the headset itself. So this is definitely a brand new color. This is called the olive green. So that's probably one of the new things they're going to announce. And of course, we have a few additional ear tips here, and of course the headphones themselves. For the most part, from what I understand, this is pretty much the exact same specification as the original one we saw earlier this year, the Bullets Wireless 2. New color, new finish at the top. Separating the earpiece and putting them together will allow you to pause and play the music. The color is definitely permeating everywhere, so it looks really nice, almost like a camo color, even though it says olive green. The microphone sitting here, volume rocker up and down, as well as the Google Assistant initiation button, the charging port, and of course the turn on and off button. Very nice, very simple. Again, we've already covered this, but it's nice that we now have additional colors and some new features, of course, with the new customizations that we get, specifically for OnePlus devices when you want to be able to pause and play music by just separating and putting together the earpieces since they're magnetic. So taking a look at the reviewer's guide that came in the box, first and foremost, obviously, we're talking about an unparalleled design for the OnePlus 7T. We are also talking about the fact that we still have basically a notch on the front housing the camera. This is basically going to support a 90 Hertz display that not only has HDR10 support, but it also has the 20:9 aspect ratio, which also, well, kind of attributes to the fact that the box is a little bit bigger when it comes to the device. On top of the fact that we're going to have definitely better brightness for better reading and of course less strain on our eyes. The new triple camera setup is here, and we also have a matte frosted glass on the back with the dual colors, and as far as I remember, there's going to be a blue and a gray one. And the camera setup that's going to help us get there is going to be basically the 48 megapixel main camera sensor with OIS at f1.6. We have an ultra wide 16 megapixel sensor at 117 degree wide angle lens. And of course, we still have the telephoto lens with a 2x optical zoom. It's a 12 megapixel at f2.2, but again, keep in mind we have OIS on that 48 megapixel sensor, which seemed to be very popular in 2019. Now, because of that wide-angle lens that we have here, we now also have macro mode, which enables us to have up to 2.5 centimeters away images, so we can get very close to our subjects. They're also talking about combining OIS and EIS to have the hybrid image stabilization system there to be able to help us get smooth videos as well as the ability of getting great night shots. Powering this entire beast is going to be the Qualcomm 855 Plus, upgraded with the latest overclock from the 855 from earlier this year, and of course the upgraded vibration motor that we saw in the OnePlus 7 from earlier this year. But if you're coming from a 6T or a 5T or even a 5, you're definitely going to see a very big improvement there, as well as an updated, again, just overall feeling from the example. You're getting the latest, fastest chipset, as well as the best vibration motor. No more issues there. The Warp Charge 30T is the brand new charging mechanism that we have here, and it's supposed to promise us a 0 to 70% out of the 3800 milliamp battery that we have in here. And that's, again, what they told me originally is that this is supposed to be a 23% faster from before. So definitely very nice. And the ability of going from 0 to 70 in 30 minutes is definitely appreciated. We have Oxygen OS with over Android 10.0, and that's out of the box. And of course, all of the features that we got before, the visual elegance, the gestures, all of the options that we talked about, as well as an updated gallery application. Last but not least, we have the updated Zen Mode as we saw before, and now we have the ability of customizing it, and of course, the ability of actually setting the time. Basically, as opposed to be able to basically be stuck to one certain duration, you can go and customize it from 20 to 60 minutes to your liking. And here we are. We have some instruction manuals here, and of course, if I'm not mistaken, we have some stickers, and yes, the invitation letter, of course, that we always get. And we'll go ahead and open it up here. And as it is typical, we always get a letter from Pete Lau thanking us for joining the team and being part of the community, the ever so growing strong community of OnePlus owners. And of course, we have the OnePlus 7T here in Glacier Blue, and of course, the last thing we have here in the box. We have, the standard case that they include in the box, so you always know we'll get a case. This is the see-through one. We have basically a SIM ejecting tool, and of course, USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable that's always included in the box, and the brand new Warp 30T charger. And you can see right there, it just says Warp 30T. And it essentially is going to give us the ability of charging our device from 0 to 70%, the 3800 milliamp battery here, within a single charge within 30 minutes. So just absolutely very, very fast. So there you have it, the brand new OnePlus 7T Glacier Blue. The new camera array on the back with a little bit of a hump, the notification slider with a power button, and of course a volume rocker on the left, the 6.5-inch display with a 20:9 aspect ratio, and of course the 90 Hz refresh rate that we get there. So on the bottom we have a dual SIM card supporting tray, a USB-C for data charge and headphones, and of course a bottom firing speaker married with a top earpiece to provide us that stereo speaker experience, of course with that brand new gorgeous display. So there we have it, the brand new OnePlus 7T. This is the 20:9 aspect ratio 6.55-inch display, and again we have basically a 1080p panel that is giving us basically some of the deepest colors, and of course the night mode that you already see that I have on. Now, the display does support 90 Hz, and out of the box, it actually has 90 Hz turned on. So you can go into the settings and you can definitely see that it's there. You can customize it to go down to 60 if you'd like, but we should be able to get the best experience here, of course, with the latest, basically the latest and best options that we can get. We have the new night mode, reading mode, as well as the video enhancer, which is off right now, but it should be able to enhance the images as far as what we get with the display. We have ambient display support. We do not have an always on display. Unfortunately, we still don't have that. Although there are some options, at least in the past, that we were able to do with root. Display size, of course, default status bar, auto rotation, as well as screensaver. Auto rotating the screen is off right now, so you can turn that on in here or in the notification panel. We have customization now, which gives us the ability of customizing the entire looks of this device. All the way from customizing it, by default, it comes with the illuminating light theme. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. And you'll notice basically it's the standard white color, but it also changes the icons, or basically the way the icons look right here. If I switch over back to the dark theme, which is the nuanced black, I'll give it a second. It changes it into squares, but you can actually even go in here and customize them. You can see right there the accent colors and the tone, all of that stuff can be customized. Last but not least, we also have the ability of going to sound and vibration, where we have the Dolby Atmos configuration, buttons and gestures to be able to turn on buttons, the normal, back, recent, of course, as home button, or you can use the new gestures, which enables you basically to use what we have before, which is if I swipe up in the middle, it goes down. Swipe up one more time here. This is the Recents app. And of course, if I swipe slightly from the side, either right or left, takes me back. These are going to be the new gestures with Android 10 on a OnePlus device. As far as basically what we get here with app notifications, pretty standard. Security and lock screen, privacy, location, battery. The 3800 milliamp battery out of the box was around 50%. And of course, you're able to charge it pretty quickly up to 70% with the new charger. What we have as far as storage is 128 gigs of internal storage with 28.51 gigabytes used today. So out of the box, that's what you have. I haven't installed anything. I haven't even installed the actual update that was pushed out yet. There's supposed to be one waiting for me. As far as accounts, you can set it up, digital well-being and parental controls, your Google account setup information, parallel apps, quick launch, and of course app locker, scheduled on and off, OnePlus switch to bring in your applications, as well as your pictures and all of the stuff that you want from your old device. And it doesn't actually have to be a OnePlus device. OnePlus laboratory, of course, we have the DC dimming that's turned on, and of course quick reply and landscape. Under the System tab, we have the ability of using the OTG option, multiple user setup, as well as RAM boost, which is turned on, and of course System Update, which I do have a System Update that needs to come through, and I will go ahead and install that. Last but not least, as far as the actual device, again, this is the OnePlus 7T, model number HD1905, Android 10. Of course, we have the, again, Snapdragon 855 Plus, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, with an optional 256 depending on the market. The cameras on the back, as I mentioned, 48, 16, and 12, triple camera setup, absolutely fantastic. And of course, 90Hz Fluid AMOLED display with a 6.5-inch 90Hz display. Looking over the camera application, I did want to mention one thing for you guys. Is one thing we realized with the OnePlus 7 or OnePlus 7 Pro is that we didn't have the ability of using the multiple sensors on the back. And now we have that in video mode. The only thing I would say is to be able to use all three lenses, to be able to switch between them in video, you have to stick to 1080p. And if you want to use the stabilization option, you're also stuck to 1080p. Because the moment you go to 4K, let's go ahead and switch over to 4K 60 frames per second, unfortunately the stabilization is basically present. But again, once I turn it on, it goes back to 1080p. So just keep in mind, 4K 60 is not going to have any stabilization, and you also only have telephoto 1 to 2 time, but you don't have the ability of switching lenses. If you want to be able to use all the lenses on your OnePlus 7T right now, you need to be able to stay to 1080p. The front-facing camera is also capped at 1080p, not higher. Photography, pretty much the same. Lenses, we can switch over. We also have that brand new macro mode, and you can turn that on straight up in the camera application. We do have, of course, portrait mode, the updated nightscape mode. Let's go ahead and go in here. And last but not least, we also have the ability of going into pro mode, and that enables us to use the full potential of the sensor if you want to be able to use that 48 megapixel sensor. So click that, go in here, either do just standard JPEG, JPEG of 48, or you can even go to RAW if you'd like to, and of course customize the rest of the settings. We have time-lapse, panorama, slow motion, 240 frames per second at 1080p or 480 at 720p. And of course, last but not least, settings to be able to customize the rest. Now, the last thing obviously we want to be able to check out are these cases that they included in the box. And the first one obviously is going to be the one with the best, I would say the best protection, because it does cover the device a lot more. The camera bump that we have on the back, it was definitely basically disappear with this case, on top of the fact that it actually covers all the aspects of it. We still have obviously access to the alert slider. And of course the speaker on the top and on the bottom are uncovered, as well as access to the USB-C port. Very nice, with the nice basically OnePlus logo sitting here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now the next two cases that we have here are considered to be one of their slimline cases. We have a carbon fiber as well as Sandstone Case. Both will provide us the same type of protection. Unfortunately, not the best protection, and they also don't cover the actual bump for the camera entirely, but they do minimize it greatly. We have access to the buttons on the right with the alert slider, as well as the one on the left, the USB-C port, the speaker, as well as the actual, dual SIM slot, which is not typical with most cases, and of course an opening at the top. All of these cases are definitely very nice and functional with the screen protector or the pre-applied screen protector that's already sitting on this display. This is something that you want to always be aware of, and hopefully we'll be able to see the glass protector come out very soon from OnePlus if you want to be able to have glass protection. But last but not least, we have here the Sandstone Case. Again, same thing. We have a little bit of a protrusion here for the camera, not a maximum one. And at the bottom, we still have access to the SIM tray, which seems to be basically very easily accessible. Speakers, everything looks great. So for a quick video sample from the OnePlus 7T, this is the front-facing camera at 1080p. And the reason why I'm doing this for you guys right now is as I'm finishing the recording of this video, I did get an update from them letting us know that the availability for this will be starting October 18th for $599 for the OnePlus 7T in the US in both colors that I mentioned to you guys. So definitely very exciting, and of course a lot more videos coming out from us here at XDA. So my initial impressions of the brand new OnePlus 7T is that this is definitely the upgrade we kind of missed with the OnePlus 7 in the US, because in the US we never really received the OnePlus 7. I did do a video for you guys here on the XDA channel when we were in London, and I got my hands on the OnePlus 7. I even imported one to the US, and I got a chance to play around with it. It was definitely a nice upgrade from what we had last year. It had some nice features. But what we have here essentially is an even bigger upgrade from what we had with the 7, because we not only have that 20:9 aspect ratio, we have obviously the 90 hertz refresh rate, we have the stereo speakers, Dolby Atmos. We also have obviously the ability of basically just enjoying, and just the refresh rate, the gaming experience, the UFS 3.0 storage, the USB 3.1 on the USB-C port, a lot of different things, and the camera setup. The fact that we can use all 3 cameras in video and in pictures is definitely a big thing. Although in 1080p in video, but we still have the ability of using it, which I think is definitely a big improvement. I still haven't had a chance to play around with the camera, so I'll hopefully have a video for you guys coming out shortly after this by our friend Sandeep, and he's going to basically do a quick camera overview with the brand new OnePlus 7T, and of course giving us his opinion of how the new camera setup is. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. Make sure you check out my channel, and of course I'll see you guys in the next video.